Now at 5, friends and family gather to remember a man shot and killed at a Vancouver bar.
It's hard. Things are going to be different without him around.
Plus, we go to Minneapolis, where there's renewed outrage over a second killing by federal agents.
None of this is okay. This should not be happening.
It's got to stop. I don't know how it's going to stop.
And back in Portland, the new event meant to highlight the South Waterfront's beauty following months of on and off protests. Thanks so much for joining us here at 5. I'm John Adams. Our top story is the vigil held today for a man shot and killed after a fight at a Vancouver bar. Family and friends celebrating the life of shooting victim Corey Jones this afternoon. Jay Coulter was at that vigil, which had a certain automotive element to it.
This car meet the centerpiece of Sunday's memorial for Corey Jones, as cars were one of his many passions.
He was an amazing man, super goofy, very caring.
On January 3rd, Corey Jones was shot and killed in the parking lot outside Off-Ramp Sports Bar in Vancouver. Jones was 43, leaving behind his wife of 18 years, 5 kids, a foster kid, and 2 grandkids, as well as many friends.
Beyond shocking. I would have never thought that he would have been in a position to be where he was.
Tiffany West, who has been close to the Jones family for almost 20 years, organized the car meetup as a memorial to Corey.
I've literally seen this man take his shirt off and give it to somebody else that needed it more. So we are mourning a very big loss.
Mark Stackhouse met Corey just last year.
I think he could get along with anybody. I mean, just the nicest guy. I mean, I liked him as soon as I met him.
Stackhouse, one of those who brought a car to the meetup.
And that's why he was a fixture out at Orchards Cars and Coffee. The guy was out there every Sunday.
Corey's widow spoke briefly at the vigil.
It really does mean a lot. Orchards Cars and Coffee and the car community is a big part of him, and I just really do appreciate everyone taking the time out of their day to come and just celebrate him.
A celebration of life for Jones will be held Saturday the 31st at City Harvest Church. Jay Coulter, KGW News.
Now at 5, Minnesota officials called for the removal of immigration and customs enforcement agents from the state today. It's after federal officers shot and killed a second person in less than 3 weeks. The Department of Homeland Security says Alex Preddy threatened agents with a gun, and they fired at the 37-year-old in self-defense. So far, no video has emerged showing Preddy pointing a weapon at agents. The shooting has prompted widespread protests in the city.
Seeing that man like that, it's wrong. You can't go around shooting people.
Yesterday felt like a little bit of positivity with the protests and all the turnout, and then you wake up this morning and it's all just torn right out from under you again. So just can't take it anymore.
Our Title VIII immigration mission continues unabated here in Minneapolis, despite yesterday's tragedy that was preventable by folks making better choices.
The Minnesota National Guard was activated in Minneapolis. The city said Guard members will wear neon reflective vests, quote, to distinguish them from other agencies in similar uniforms, and will stay in close contact with police. Meanwhile, those who knew Preddy are mourning him and also sharing stories about the person they knew. Uba Ali has more.
37-year-old Alex Preddy is remembered as a healer, caring for the sickest as an ICU nurse at the VA. His friend of 2 decades.
There are going to be times when I pick up the phone and I'm not going to be able to get a hold of him for sure.
Heather Zielinski is heartbroken, but she says helping people was who he was. And this moment captured tells the whole story and why he died.
Absolutely, he was standing up for someone. Absolutely, he was standing up for that woman that he was trying to help up. He was trying to help her get out of that situation.
In a statement, his father told the Associated Press he cared about people deeply, and he was very upset with what was happening in Minneapolis and throughout the United States with ICE, as millions of other people are upset. He was born in Illinois and raised in Wisconsin. They say Preddy owned a handgun and had a permit to carry. Outside the hospital, an avid outdoorsman, biking and hiking, finding peace in nature.
He leaned into the things that he was passionate about, and that's one of the things that made him very successful.
In a statement, another neighbor said Alex had a dog who passed in the past year or so. She said, quote, "I remember how sweet it was that as his dog was more elderly, less mobile, he'd be willing to help carry him down to the yard to get some fresh air and to enjoy the outdoors. His dog would lay down and Alex would sit with him and pet him for long periods of time. He was very caring." Preddy lived to help others.
Could they have not killed my friend? Yeah, they could have not killed my friend. They did not need to kill my friend.
Tonight, others are standing up for him.
Back in our area, Portland police tell us they arrested 4 people last night who were protesting outside the ICE facility on South Macadam. Hundreds gathered last night in response to that second deadly shooting in Minneapolis. The charges of the 4 arrested range from disorderly conduct to attempted assault. 2 of them had allegedly interfered with a police vehicle. 1 tried to take the plywood off the ICE facility, and the last person is accused of throwing glass candles at federal officers. Okay, time to talk about our weather here locally. A chilly start to the morning turned into a very nice January afternoon as our stretch of dry weather keeps continuing on. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is joining us now to let us know how much longer we have before the rain comes back. Joe?
Well, John, we have pretty much 2 full days before we start to see some changes out there. And there's going to be another morning tomorrow with widespread frost, but it won't be as cold. We woke up to readings earlier this afternoon. A few locations in wine country near McMinnville and Newburgh were in the upper teens. A lot of us were right around the low to mid 20s for your overnight lows. So areas of frost to start things off on your Monday morning, but a warmer start out there. We'll be looking at temperatures by 8 a.m. right around the mid to the upper 30s. Downtown Portland right now, a temperature of 41 degrees. I know I went through that map really quick, but daytime highs tomorrow will be right around the mid 40s, a little bit warmer from what we saw earlier today. I should say the mid to the upper 40s. So tomorrow we'll be waking up to widespread frost. That's what we've been dealing with the last couple of mornings. Looking at our next model are one more dry day. Pockets of drizzle possible tomorrow, but I think for the most part, we're going to be mainly dry. Rain returns, more measurable amount of rain arrives late Tuesday into Wednesday, and it is going to be a wet middle part of the week and end of the week. As we put the future cast into motion, you can see the overcast skies a good portion of the day, a little bit of some sprinkles by the early part of the afternoon, but it's not going to be impacting you a whole lot. What will be impacting you, well, it's what's going to be coming by the middle and later part of this week. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thanks so much. We'll see you soon. New tonight out of Cowlitz County, a deputy coroner is recovering in the hospital after she was nearly killed by a car early Saturday morning. The coroner's office says it started when Deputy Justine Enriquez responded to a crash that killed the driver on Spirit Lake Highway in Castle Rock, Washington. She was finishing her investigation when a different driver, possibly speeding and driving under the influence, entered the crash scene and hit her. The driver, Michael Sturgill, was arrested. Enriquez is recovering in the hospital after having to go through surgery. A local family is asking for the community's help after a drunk driver crashed into their living room early Saturday morning. The incident happened just around 2 a.m. after the driver left the roadway on the 10,000 block of East Burnside, slamming into the residence of Kayla and Amber Green. The Greens tell us as of this afternoon, the car is still wedged in their home because crews say it's thus far been too dangerous to remove the car due to damage to the structural integrity of the house. The Greens will spend the next month living in a hotel while the damage is being repaired. Kayla Green described the aftermath of that crash.
Living room was a complete disaster. Everything in our living room had been thrown across the house. The wall was destroyed completely, TV about to fall off, all that.
And to make matters worse, both Amber and Kayla lost their jobs earlier this week when the claim jumper they were working at abruptly went out of business. We will have more on their story coming up tonight at 11. Check this out. Those living and working in Portland's South Waterfront near the Federal Ice Building are getting treated to some soothing art and music this week. 2 neighbors wanted to create something special for fellow residents and business owners who've been affected by the action near the Portland Ice Building. From live performances all week to artistic window displays, they're hosting events to celebrate the vibrancy of the South Waterfront neighborhood.
It's really hard to be in an environment where there is a lot of political unrest at times. And we wanted to find a way to kind of show our support in a way. This is a form of protest, but in a very peaceful, whimsy Portland way.
Well, they're hoping these South Waterfront Spark events will drum up business for local retailers who they say are seeing a drop in foot traffic due to people avoiding the area around the ice building. Well, let's go take a live look now at a watch party going on in Vancouver, where Seahawks fans are watching them take on the LA Rams. On the line, of course, a chance to play in Super Bowl 60. The Hawks scored right before the end of the second quarter. They now lead the Rams 17-13 going into the break. Whoever wins will go on to face the New England Patriots, who won earlier today.